Arsenal 3, Monaco 0. On paper, it's a fantastic win, 3-0, a clean sheet, goals. What more could you possibly want from a game that is a 3-0 victory? But like I said, on paper and as a result, in the grand scheme of things, it's absolutely fantastic. We won at home at the Emirates, we beat Monaco, and we are hopefully one step closer to avoiding the playoffs in the Champions League and just going straight to the knockout stages, which is great news because Arsenal don't need to play extra games if that happens. We've got 2 more games left against Dinamo Zagreb and I think against Girona. Zagreb's at home, Girona's away, so hopefully if we win the next game at home against Zagreb, then I think we're more or less in the next round of the Champions League without having to play the playoffs, so that's a good thing. So hopefully against Girona, if we beat Zagreb, then maybe we can rest some players and hopefully play the likes of Ethan Nwaneri and MLS and all of that, right? So that's good, but I do think performances wise in this Arsenal team, there was a lot lacking in some of our attacking players, but let's just focus on the positives right now. Bukayo Saka. This team is Bukayo Saka and Co FC. That's all this team is. It's Saka FC and the rest. Because Saka is the only clinical player we have in this club. I know there's the likes of Havertz, he scores every now and then, but other than maybe Havertz, who else scores the goals for Arsenal? Yeah, you get your goals from your set pieces and your defenders, but just mainly looking at our forward line, Bukayo Saka is the main guy and he's the guy that gets all the goals, and that's why there's a lot of concern with Bukayo Saka, because we need goals from the other sides, from the other attacking players, and they're just not being able to do that. But Saka, although he didn't get much of the ball, although I didn't see him dribble or take players on as much as I would like him to, when it came down to it, when you need him, when you need a guy at the end of those chances to tap the ball back into the net or to get goals, then he's the guy, and credit to him, he's fantastic. It's unfortunate he didn't get his hat-trick because Havertz came on, and while Havertz did manage to get the ball off the keeper, Bukayo Saka is my man of the match, and hopefully he could just remain as fit as he can and continue as he goes along. And another player that really looked positive to me and that I really liked was Miles Lewis-Skelly, and from now on we're calling him MLS because I didn't expect him to get as much of the ball as he did in this game, but some of the things that he was doing, the passes that he was putting the ball forward to the attackers, was a delight to watch. And he's a midfielder originally, and just to see him skip by defenders and for Arsenal to get that first goal, that pass he gets to Jesus and from Jesus to Saka, MLS was the one that made that chance, and I hopefully want to see him play more games in the season. Maybe we'll see him in the Carabao Cup, or hell, maybe we might even see him against Everton. But he's been absolutely fantastic in this game, and if he can play against Liverpool, if he can play against Man City, then he can definitely play against the other teams in the Premier League. And there was concern and there was criticism on why he wasn't playing against Fulham, but the past is the past, we can only look forward, and MLS has been fantastic. I think there were some good performances from Saliba, Kirio looked alright, I thought that Partey looked okay in that right back position, and Mikel Moreno, whenever he got the ball, I always thought he looked quite good, and I just wanted to see him get more of the ball on that left hand side and get the ball more towards the left and the right, if that makes sense, so there's more of a balance rather than just overloading it to the right hand side. So overall it was quite good, and yeah, that I think it was positive from that side of things. However, and if I don't forget Declan Rice, I think he had an okay game, but it wasn't as good. I don't know why, he just looked like he was absolutely winded in this game, like he just completely lost a lot of his stamina and he was just really tired. But anyhow, it is what it is, you can have your off games. But I think the main concern in this game was the whole forward line, Jesus, Martinelli, and even Ødegaard. I know a lot of people like Ødegaard, but he didn't have a very good game in my opinion. These 3 guys missed easy one-on-ones, and especially Gabriel Jesus. But before I got on Gabriel Jesus, Ødegaard, he needs to get better on the final third and finish a lot more of his chances, because that one-on-one that he had was not good. He should have tucked that in a way. And the thing is that we need players, especially when it comes to finishing. From my view, a good person, a good striker is someone who can finish the ball in different ways, whether it's chipping the keeper, whether it's going around the keeper, finesse shot, power shot. And these guys were just side-footing it the whole way through, and I need to see more from these players in the types of finishings that we can do in the club. I don't know why players just don't go around the keeper like what R9 used to do in the past, but what do I know, eh? And Martinelli, I think he looked decent in the beginning. I think he was all right, on the contrary to popular belief. But he just lost his head, and he was getting tackles, and he was getting fouls, and it looked like that he was going to get a red card, and he was very lucky not to get the red card. And I don't know what's going on with him, but he just needs to sort his head out, and I think he'll be okay. But if we're going into the discussion of whether or not he will be the starting left winger for Arsenal moving forward, I think there's a big doubt in that, and a lot of people are already convinced that Martinelli just isn't that guy, and I can't blame them. And even myself, I've been saying this about Martinelli for ages, but what can we do? The season's ongoing. We have to make do what we have between him and Trossard, and Martinelli just needs to just clear his head and just play the way that he does. I don't know, I think maybe after the injury that he had, he just lost his lack of yard of pace, and I don't know what more I can go on from him, but hopefully he can just regain some form that he had 2 years ago and get back onto it, because we can't overload things on the right anymore. Like, it's not sustainable. And if I were to go to Trossard, who came on, I thought he looked okay. He looked a bit better in my opinion, but he didn't really provide much. Ethan Nwaneri, when he came on, I was upset that he wasn't able to get that goal, but you can tell he's a threat, and it will be really nice to see him play more in the season, and I really want to see him in the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace. And yeah, Havertz as well, when he came on, see, this is the difference between him and Jesus, right? Havertz, when he comes on, he runs at players, he presses them intensively, and it really makes defenders and goalkeepers' lives a lot more difficult, because he just keeps running at them. And he did this against Fulham as well, because I saw him there. And when he was doing it against Monaco, it eventually these amount of press leads to mistakes, and they made a mistake, and then Saka was able to get at the end of it. So that's why I really rate Havertz. Although maybe he may not be able to get a goal, or maybe he may not to do that side of things, I know off the ball he will press like crazy, him and Ødegaard, and I know that he will be able to provide other things, even though he may not get a goal here and there. And back on Ødegaard, just some of the things that I realized over the last couple of games with Ødegaard, I need him to do more through balls. And although he comes more on the right, sometimes I just wish he plays more like a number 10, if that makes sense. But anyhow, and now we go on to the main man of the show, the main scapegoat, culprit, whatever you want to call it, Gabriel Jesus. Now, when I compared him and Havertz, it's like I said, I don't think he presses as much as Havertz. And as a false nine, as someone who could play that position, you can see the differences between the two and why Arsenal or Mikel Arteta want to keep him in that sort of position. But the thing is that he was brought in as a striker. He missed an absolute sitter with that first attempt, and the second attempt was just like he had more pressure on him, but it just wasn't good. And as a striker, you need to bury those chances, and it's been 32 games and he's only scored 1 goal, and that goal was against Preston. This guy went through damn near a whole season, less 6 matches, and he's only scored 1 goal, and this guy's on 265 grand a week. A lot of people are trying to be positive or whatever, but that is simply not good enough. It's disgusting, it's horrific. A person of his quality should be doing much better, and I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know why he can't score a goal. I mean, if you were to compare that to anywhere else in any other team, that's not good enough anywhere. 1 goal as a striker in 32 games, that's ridiculous. That's like a relegation team. I expect you to play for Southampton or something like that if you are giving that sort of performances. And no disrespect, but I'm just giving an idea. Like, that's a relegation team, and Jesus has fell off a cliff. And I know Arteta wants to give him confidence and wants to keep him in January, but look, the quicker you get rid of him and the quicker you're able to find a replacement, the better. But at this current moment in time, because Arsenal's squad is so thin, you need as much numbers as you can. But when the summer comes, he needs to be moved on ASAP, because if I was the owner of the club, if I were a Kroenke, and if I actually cared about the club, I would look at that and be like, look, we're paying this guy 265 grand a week, and what's he doing? Like, why is he here? I mean, yeah, he did get the assist, but you're a striker, and the main currency of a striker is goals, and if you're not scoring, then that's that. But overall, it was a good-ish performance. I mean, some players played really well, but some just let me down. Martinelli was one of the
Saka takes.
definitely. But also I can say Gabriel also put it up there. Got that, and Gabriel also got the previous and that. But overall, let's just see how we compare. It's going to be a rough journey, especially
Still in this game. Right! Oh no.
It's going to be an immense toll on him, but hopefully he can carry us forward, because I'm not looking at these other guys and getting convinced that yeah, you're going to be able to assist or add something to this team, especially when it comes to goals, other than him, Saka, and possibly even Havertz as well. And it's very important that now that January's around the corner, that we add another striker. Hopefully it's a Gyökeres or an Isak or an Osimhen or somebody like that that can come in and help Saka with the goals and finally give Arsenal a gunman and a complete team. But yeah, overall, let's see what happens in the next game, and let's see if MLS gets more starts, because that's what I want to see. But yeah, hope to see you all in the next video. Bye bye.